月10日ユナイテッドエンパイア今日は試合があったそして彼がエンパイアの応援してくれるってよみんなブローキンテーブルポッドキャストよろしく
Yo, yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Broken Tables podcast. I am your host, Jeffrey Vegas, here, as always, with our co-host, the Broken Predictions champion, King Rome. How you doing today, sir?
I am fucking incredible.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
My heart is currently pounding out of my chest. I'm so extremely happy and excited, and I'm ready to talk. Yes, Big T, thank you. I'm ready to talk about AEW Dynamite and the return of the best in the world.
Best in the world.
I know there's a really bad echo right now.
For you or for me? Not for me.
I don't know. I'm just coaching the chat saying bad echo.
Echo real bad. Okay, am I the one echoing? Oh, it's you. Okay, here, let's I bet I fixed it there. That should be good.
It's gotta be something on your end because I'm not doing anything different.
Yeah.
Fine.
Well, everybody, welcome to the show here tonight. I'm going to say hi to everybody in chat. We got Big T, we got Joseph Juhas, we got Coach Nick, Juan C. Welcome, everybody. If I missed you, it's because you haven't said anything yet in chat. Welcome, everybody. Please hit that like and subscribe button if you have not already. We do appreciate that. It helps the video get some more viewership out there. And holy shit, what an episode of Dynamite from beginning to end, man. Miyaja in chat, CM Punk is back. Yes, CM Punk, the best in the world, has returned, and it was great.
So I've mentioned this a few times on the podcast, and I don't remember if I did or not. I think I did. So when CM Punk won the World Championship at Double or Nothing, I purchased the new World Champion shirt. And, you know, CM Punk got hurt before it got delivered because Pro Wrestling Tees is just not the best.
Yeah.
And I promised myself that I would wait until CM Punk returned for me to wear this shirt. And so I'm so happy to say that I'm currently wearing my CM Punk World Champion shirt. I wasn't wearing this when Dynamite started, but I'm wearing it now. So
Right on. Yeah, that is a excellent new shirt you got there. Just checking on our audio issues here real quick. If you want to go ahead and kick us off with the Darby versus Brody King match.
Absolutely. So again, this was Quake on the Lake, or Quake by the Lake. Sorry. It's funny because we were arguing about that last week, and Mox in his promo, either on the Monday Road 2 show or at some point he said Quake on the Lake, which is funny because it's Quake by the Lake. Apparently there's no echo for me, which is good. So yeah, we started off with a great match tonight, an excellent match. We started with the coffin match, Darby Allin versus Brody King, and right from the get-go, I knew that this was going to be an excellent show and a really fucking awesome crowd. The crowd tonight was just so there. It was such a great crowd here. I think they were in Minneapolis, I think. And yeah, man, it was a great crowd. Darby and Brody just like start at 100. Darby busts out his thumbtack skateboard, which I know Jeff does not like the thumbtacks.
I'm okay with the skateboard though.
Oh, okay. It's the bed that you don't like. Correct. Okay.
All right, still trying to find my mic here. It looks like my computer's picking up a different microphone here tonight. I'm not sure why, but I will figure this out.
I got you. I'll keep going.
Yeah.
So Darby is beating Brody with the thumbtack skateboard. Eventually Brody gets it away from him, breaks it, and these guys are just going at it. Brody is bleeding, and it was a great, like, he looked great. Just the blade job, or whatever they did, the blade job, I guess. It looked fucking awesome. Honestly, it's kind of sucks that Jeff.
No, we are all good. We are all fixed up here.
Okay.
I don't think that was a blade job. I think that was from the skateboard with the tacks on it, and it looked like he just shoved it right into his head, and it may have cut him a little more than we thought it was going to.
That's why I was like hesitant to call it a blade job, because it looked so good. Like I've like, you know what I mean? Like the blade jobs usually after a while they kind of subside, but like this bled for the whole match.
He was wiping blood out of his eyes the whole match, and you know, if you've never had blood in your eyes, it's crazy, man. Your vision actually gets a shade of pink over it, and it kind of feels like someone threw acid in your eyes. I'm not gonna lie. So it's not a pleasant experience.
Yeah, but so they were fighting it out. Eventually they end up in the crowd. They go to picture in picture, come back from the picture in picture. Brody has set up a table, and he is going to jump off the top rope and, you know, put Darby through the table. Darby gets out of the way. Brody crashes and burns and gives us a great shout out to the podcast.
Burn.
Yeah, man, I love this match. Again, this was a match tonight's notes are not my best work, because this was a really good episode of Dynamite. I just constantly kept finding myself just watching the show. Like, which, as I've said before, that's like something with me where it's like when I'm really into it, you could tell on these podcasts, because I feel like maybe I just don't have as many notes as I would like. But this was this was a banger.
Absolutely, man. I love the way that they started off with, in the middle of Brody King's entrance with the lights off, Darby came out of nowhere and attacked him. I thought that was an excellent use of the House of Black's, you know, dark entrance against him. It was great. That was one of my favorite parts there. Man, I guess that Mox and Jericho match was pretty good, but would you consider this match of the night? Because holy shit, the finish was so perfect. Like, so for the finish here, if you guys didn't see it, so Darby Allin uses the big chain that Brody King wears to the ring, and he wrapped it around his neck, and he kind of hung him over the side of the ring the way that Brody King was doing to him with the rear naked choke. So Brody King passes out, and when he passes out, he falls perfectly into the coffin, and the way he fell into it looked extremely natural, but it happened so perfectly. He fell into the coffin and the lid shut. I mean, you could have filmed this 8 or 9 times for a movie and maybe not got as good of a take as they got here live. This was incredible.
Yeah. And just to rewind a little bit, I know you mentioned it, I really enjoyed the dynamic here with Sting and Malachi Black tonight.
Yes.
I thought that just that meeting where Malachi kind of backs down. He's like, I'm not gonna fight Sting.
Yeah, Sting even handed him the bat. He's like, here. He's like, you didn't want any of me last time. He's like, I'll give you a weapon this time. What's up? He still wanted none.
It was an awesome match, and you're right. I mean, it's a toss up for match of the night. I mean, this was an excellent match. The main event's an excellent match. Like, these are both classics. But yeah, man, it was a perfect match. Like, there wasn't much I would have changed about it. I thought it went really good length.
Yes.
The action was great. The story told in the ring was phenomenal. The spots are awesome. Darby Allin is just amazing. Brody King, like, I have really loved this program, because you would think Darby would be working mostly against Malachi Black, but this was a Darby Allin and Brody King feud. And like, that's really special. I think that's really awesome. Yeah. Usually you would think in wrestling and booking and the way it works, you would see this kind of evolve. Maybe, you know, they do the battle royale and they do the one match with Darby and Brody, and then after that you would think Darby moves on to Malachi, but like, no, this feud was not a Darby Malachi Black feud. It was a Darby Allin Brody King feud. And again, it's a testament to the great booking in AEW. It's like, it was a complete surprise, and it ended up being a really awesome feud that had some really memorable moments, from the Zoomies store confrontation to the Comic-Con thing to the Battle Royale to this match. Like, this was a really excellent, like, very quick, like, 4-week feud. Mm-hmm. And it was fucking awesome. And it was really great to see Buddy Matthews back too.
Yeah. Who was jacked, by the way.
Oh yeah, he looked great. And shout out to Julia Hart, because tonight, this isn't the only time we see Julia, but Julia killed it tonight as well.
Oh, yeah.
Like, House of Black, I love the House of Black. This was awesome.
Absolutely. So Darby gets the win here. Incredible match. I feel like this is leading to Sting versus Malachi at All Out. What do you think about that?
You think they're going to do Malachi versus Miro at All Out? So I don't know. Like, part of me felt like, is this feud over? Because, like, to be honest, I thought Sting was going to return tonight, but I thought he was actually going to turn on Darby. That's what I thought was going to happen, and they didn't go that route.
He did have the big black face, the eye. That was cool. It looked really good with the Sting paint. Actually, I was liking that.
Yeah, definitely. I thought it was awesome. Again, everything about this was awesome.
I mean,
I have no issues and no complaints with this opening of the show.
There's a good one, Miyaja. Maybe a Sting, Darby, and Miro versus House of Black. Ooh, that'd be nice.
Possibly.
All right, so I got a quick question for you here before we move on. Have you ever seen a bad Darby Allin match?
No.
Me neither. This kid
I think
is incredible.
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, I think it's a level of just it's we talk about this a lot, and like in pro wrestling, you need to just connect with the audience and connect with the crowd, and Darby Allin's one of those guys. He just does it really well.
Yep.
Like, you just want to, it's one of the very few things that Cody did right. Was Cody really kind of helped Darby get his foot in the door in AEW. That first match that they had, like, from that moment, the audience just fell in love with Darby Allin, and it's a testament to him as a talent, him as a person. Like, you just feel for the guy. He's not the biggest. He's small. You see him wrestle guys like Brody. Brody throws him around.
I was
Juan
waiting
in the chat.
I was
Here
waiting
we
for
go. Let's do this. Let's get into this. How you doing, Jeff?
Doing excellent, man.
Is Darby Allin
to come up?
Is Darby Allin world championship material?
So, my answer to this...
I swear to God, if you say no, I'm going to flip
out.
If
I say no, I am not going to say no. I am going to say yes.
Okay.
And I'm going to assume you're going to ask me, why doesn't he compare with,
Yeah. Let's cut
Orange
to the
Cassidy.
chase.
Okay. So, remember how I keep saying Orange Cassidy's character is one of the things that stops me from, getting to that point of considering him a world champion?
Okay.
So, his character is that he doesn't try very hard. And I understand that when he does try, he is amazing, and I do love Orange Cassidy, okay? But Darby Allin's character is he is trying as hard as he can at all times of every day. So that's where I'm at with those two, and why I do believe Darby Allin could win that title, and I could actually, believe it. Now, would I say the same thing of I don't believe he should hold on to it for a long time? Just like I would say if Cassidy somehow wound up with it, I don't think he should hold it for very long. I do think it would be entertaining, but, with Darby Allin, I think it would be a believable one for me because his character is just a cannonball. You know what I mean? That dude just throws himself out there. And, it's just that's how I look at it.
One could argue that the same logic that you're using as to why Orange Cassidy should not win a world title is very similar logic to why you would think Darby Allin can't win a world title. I mean, you're saying Orange Cassidy just doesn't focus, he doesn't seem to care.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Darby Allin doesn't give a fuck either. He doesn't care either. He throws himself out there to the point where he's going to cost himself matches. So I just don't think it's very correct.
I see how you could say that, how he is very reckless in his matches, so it seems like he doesn't care. But I think the recklessness comes across to me like he cares so much that he's willing to destroy himself to win these matches. That's the way it comes off to me.
I think yes, but he's a thrill seeker. He's not, a lot of times, obviously when he gets into a feud, he wants to beat up his opponent, but his character is he wrestles for the thrill of just the adrenaline. He looks for the adrenaline.
Yeah.
So again, I understand your argument, and that's probably the most valid thing you've ever said in this argument. So I get it.
Yo, Goldberg's here.
I don't like Goldberg.
Now, I do say that it is a absolutely fair thing to point out, this comparison, with me and Darby and Orange. So definitely a fair point.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get it. I mean, again, it's just going to be a disagreement that we're going to have until the end of time. And for the record, I don't think Orange Cassidy needs to win a world title. The same way I don't think Darby Allin needs to win a world title. But I say that they're both caliber of that. They're both worthy of winning a world championship.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of Bill Goldberg, man, how you doing in chat there? I have a feeling now that we have a Mr. Triple H in charge at the old E there, I don't think they're going to be needing your services much longer, man. I think he's got one match left on his contract. I have a feeling, unless they throw him in the Saudi show, I have a feeling they're just going to tell him to sit home and they'll pay him.
Nah, they'll bring him out for the Saudi
You think so? I don't think Trips are going to do it.
Look, man, I don't want to sound like Johnny Raincloud. I don't want to be Mr. Negative. I'm going to keep saying it. I would like to preach caution.
Of course.
Just because Triple H is running booking, like WWE is a company that is set in the ways that it does its business. And I think we need to just understand that there's a lot going on beyond Triple H running creative. It's a company that, like, I mean, I read a report yesterday. I was going to talk about the end of the show, but I saw a report yesterday saying that even when Kevin Dunn leaves the company, they're still going to do the fucking awful camera cuts, which to be completely real, like, that's going to really deter me from watching the product, because I get headaches when I watch these camera cuts where it's like, cut. I can't do it. I literally stop. I can't look at the screen. And I'm like not that kind of person usually. Like, who has those
Goldberg versus the Exit match of the year.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
All right.
But it's just, yeah, I don't know. The camera cuts are awful, and like the Saudi shows are probably still going to happen, and they're still a publicly traded company where Vince is a majority shareholder still. Like, just like, again, just because they're making some creative changes, I would preach caution. Like, we don't be surprised if they bust Goldberg out again, but at the same time, it wouldn't be crazy if they don't. I mean, we shouldn't assume things. That's all.
I'm just hoping we see major change, but it's going to be a slow change if anything.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, so next up we had a badass promo from Jon Moxley cut on, Chris Jericho. He told him if his fighting spirit doesn't break, his body will. I love when Mox cuts these promos like this, man. He's just on the top of his game right now.
Yeah, he's one of the best talkers in the business. I mean, just generational. Every week it's just, he takes really like a nothing statement, or like a very, what some would perceive as a pretty generic wrestling statement, and just his delivery alone is just impeccable.
Yeah.
And Big T, I agree. Those camera cuts should be illegal. Like, this isn't even like me hating on WWE. Like, you guys can tell I haven't said fuck the Fed in like a month. So like, I'm not just blind hating. I literally can't watch that product if the camera cuts are going to stay that way.
Especially when they do that, like, it does give me a headache. Once I became aware of it and I see it a lot, I'm just like, oh, I can't watch that. Like, it hurts.
Yeah, and it's bad enough. I mean, I was going to talk about it later, but Kevin Dunn is reportedly staying in the company too, which is like,
I'm assuming he's going to run NXT still. That's going to be a lot for Triple H to do, all the shows, but we'll see.
No, Sean's been running NXT.
I think it was with Bruce Pritchard, actually. Okay, I might be wrong there.
Yeah, well, Bruce was kind of overseeing it, reporting it to Vince, but Sean was running it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of disappointing considering what the product was. That Shawn Michaels was running NXT. Like, okay. That's not good.
All right, back on track here. Right after the Moxley promo, we had a Lionheart Chris Jericho promo on Moxley, and holy shit, man, I couldn't pinpoint what he did, but it looked like it was multiple things. Jericho actually looked like the Lionheart Chris Jericho. Like, I think he shaved his mustache off. He got a facial done or something. Some nice, I don't know what happened there, but he really looked like the young Jericho. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, so I wrote this too. And we'll talk about it more in the main event. I think so yes, he shaved, but he also, like, I think he straightened his hair, which
Yeah.
like he usually doesn't do. He kind of usually goes for that kind of just messy look in the past 15 years.
You got
But
some
no, it was
exfoliation, huh, Coach?
he like his hair looked super slick and super straight, very very Lionheart like.
Yeah, it was great. I thought it was a good promo. I couldn't wait for the match after they did those back-to-back promos. That was nice.
Yeah, and I also did really appreciate the last of the Stu Hart's dungeon bit that they've been doing for the past few weeks. I thought that was really cool.
Okay, so for those of us who may not be super familiar with the, Stu Hart's dungeon, I'm assuming that's part of, Bret Hart and his family, right?
You don't know about Stu Hart's dungeon?
So I don't. I believe it's a wrestling school, right? I haven't looked it up. I've just kind of been trying to absorb it from the show, but I don't think I've absorbed it completely. So explain it to us for me.
So Stu Hart's dungeon, for those that aren't aware, Stu Hart, obviously the father of Bret Hart, patriarch of the Hart family, which, I think there's like 7 of them that wrestled. Yeah. So Stu Hart, in his own right, was a pro wrestler, and he basically took the basement of his house. He took the basement of his house and converted it into a wrestling dojo / school. It was a very, I'm really surprised you don't know what the Hart Dungeon is. This is I've never had to explain the Hart Dungeon to anyone before, so just bear with me.
Like I said, I didn't want to look it up. I wanted to ask you because I had a feeling you would know what it was. So
Oh, okay, I got you. It's fine. So I don't believe, to my knowledge, because it was a little bit before my time, I don't know if it was like a legit open school or if it was like an invite only thing. To my knowledge, it was like an invite only thing. But basically, Stu Hart would take you downstairs, and these wrestlers, they would think, oh, I'm going there to learn how to be a better pro wrestler. They would get there, and then Stu Hart would put them into submission holds, shoot style, and break their bones and stretch the shit out of them. So basically, if you were a member of the Hart Dungeon, Stu Hart's dungeon, they called it a dungeon because it was a basement. If you were a part of that, you were tough. You were a tough guy because you went there, and for a fact that all the wrestlers knew Stu Hart fucking tortured you. If you went there, very Stu Hart would love the Blackpool Combat Club.
So Ryan said, it was a brutal Canadian training camp for wrestlers.
Yeah, that's the short story. I was trying to give you as much detail as I could since you didn't know.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I like it.
But yeah, so Stu Hart's dungeon, if you come out of that, you are a very tough pro wrestler.
Okay. All right. So next up was Rush and Andrade versus the Lucha Brothers. And holy shit, man, this match was incredible, as was the entrance. Oh, sorry, timeout.
You missed something.
I missed something.
You missed the announcement.
What was that?
So at this point of the show, we got an announcement that next week is the House of Dragon Dynamite special. And we also got the bracket at this point for the Trios Championship Tournament.
Okay, I was going to let you do that when we go over what's going on next week and stuff like that. No worries.
Well, I just figured because they don't really talk about it at the end except for one of the matches.
Okay.
But we can go through the bracket real quick if you want.
Yeah, do it.
So we have the Trustbusters versus the Best Friends on one side of the bracket. Trustbusters have been doing really good on Dark. I've actually really been enjoying their stuff. So
Parker
it was
Boudreaux's
cool that they're going to get some TV time here. We have the House of Black versus the Dark Order, where this match kind of stresses me out, but we'll talk about it. I feel like the Dark Order are going to win this match.
And you feel like they're going to win?
Actually,
I feel like they're going to lose, and that's going to give Hangman the excuse of okay, they're already out of the tournament. I will join you guys.
Well, here's the problem with that. The Young Bucks match is next week. There was no announcement of the House of Black Dark Order match taking place next week.
Oh.
So that's my concern with that. Actually, I'm flipping it a little bit. Part of me wonders, I think the Dark Order's gonna lose.
I think they lose, man. Yeah, there's no way House of Black loses this. They should be in the finals.
I don't know. I am stressed about that, though. I am worried about that a little bit.
Yeah, I see how you can be worried about it, because it feels like this Hangman stuff's going somewhere. Coach Nick
Yeah,
says,
and where it
Parker.
goes.
Yeah, man. Parker Boudreaux follows us on Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big Parker fan. He's awesome. This dude's fucking crazy. I can't wait to see what he does.
He's badass. I can't wait to see some more of him. Yep.
And then here, strap in, folks, because I don't know if anyone noticed this. On the other side of the bracket, we have Death Triangle versus Will Ospreay and Aussie Open.
Woo.
So we're gonna get the return of Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
And then on that very same side of the bracket, we have Andrade El Idolo, Dragon Lee, and Roosh versus the Young Bucks and a mystery partner. Now, let's just be frank. The fact that Hangman fucking broke my heart tonight and said no, which we'll talk about, it's Kenny Omega. Like, it's Kenny Omega. Like, I don't know who else they're getting in here.
Well, I like the ideas in chat. Mia just says it could be Ibushi, who's been teasing. That's a good one. I don't see him showing up without Omega, though. That would be like a, Golden Lovers situation coming out. Omega is definitely one, but Marty Scurll, I would love to see the villain show up, man. I'm a big Marty Scurll fan.
Yeah.
I got his pin on the vest, if you guys haven't noticed, the Villain Club pin.
Yeah. So I don't know. I see this being Kenny Omega. I think also with Will Ospreay being on that side of the bracket, it makes way too much sense to get Kenny to face off against Ospreay, even for a few minutes. Like that alone is money. So, yeah, that's the bracket for the tournament. And again, we'll talk about the rest of the card later on, next week. But yeah, that tournament kicks off next week.
Yeah, that's going to be fantastic. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be interesting to see who the Bucks partner actually winds up being here. So it's going to be nice.
Yeah.
All right, now we'll get to the next segment here was the Roosh and Andrade, the Faction. I always have trouble with this one. It's Ingobernables, right?
I believe so.
All right, La Faction Ingobernables versus the Lucha Brothers. And dude, this Roosh and Andrade entrance with both of them wearing these white suits with their masks on was so badass. I like sat forward on my seat and I had this like goofy ass smile like a little kid. And I was just like, these dudes are fucking awesome. That entrance was amazing. And, I don't know what else to say about it, but we got Penta, it was not Penta El Scuro, or what is it, Oscuro anymore. He was back to his regular Penta El Cero M. You saw that too, right?
Yeah, so that happened on Dark. He came out as just Penta L0M again.
Okay.
The reason that they're saying he's expulged the black mist, the darkness that was in him. I guess you can just kind of, it probably takes time, but he rejected it. So
yeah. Okay. So this was a freaking great match, man. It was a tornado tag match, so everybody was allowed in the ring at one time. These guys had themselves a lucha match, man. I was blown away at just about every spot, left and right. Roosh started using the camera wires to choke out Phoenix. Use the wires to kind of wrap him up on the outside to keep him away for a little while. This was great, man. This was an excellent match.
Yeah, man, I really enjoyed this match. The is so fast paced. I love the tornado tag style.
Yes.
Again, like it's one of my biggest critiques of AEW is like the tagging rules sometimes. To have just a tornado tag match was just awesome. It was so much fun. Great match. So we've given a really hard time with the mask thing. And I feel like I kind of want to step back from that a little bit just because the payoff here in the match with this finish was so good that I'm completely okay with the mask stuff that they've been doing.
I was kind of hoping they weren't going to do anything with the masks here because in the lucha rules, it's kind of like a big deal, but yeah, they wound up doing it a little bit different. They kind of tied his mask to the ropes and they kind of made him take his own mask off. So if you didn't see it, Penta, they took the little things on the back of his mask and they tied that to the ropes so he couldn't help his brother. But, on the count of 2, he ripped his own mask off and he jumped in for the save. And I thought it was a good spot. But at the same time, I felt like the mask thing had been used too much over these past what is this? I think this might be the third or fourth match between these guys. I was really hoping we could do something without a mask here, but if you just look at it as a standalone, I thought it was a great spot. You know what I mean?
I just really love the storytelling of it. Again, I mean, so they were doing the mask thing to kind of it was they were doing it to sell the importance of it, which here in the payoff, that's where it matters most. So like they did it a few times, but now looking back on it, because hindsight's 2020. Looking back on it, I understand that they were doing it for the sake of we need to make this feel important. So when Penta does this, it's a big deal, and it is a big deal because, like you said, in lucha wrestling, you can't take your mask off. So the fact that Penta wanted to win so badly and wanted to help his brother so badly that he would break the sacred, I guess, creed. Let's say creed. I mean, it might be a better word for it.
Code,
Code, yeah, the code. Thank
Yeah.
you. He broke the sacred code of lucha to he took his own mask off to save his brother and to save the match. And that just made the stakes feel really high for me. And I absolutely loved it. Like, again, it hindsight's 2020. It completely justifies why they were doing the mask thing so much, because if they had ended this match where they just tried to cheat again and take the mask off, I'd be like, all right, well, you kind of already did that spot 4 times. There was no payoff there. But here, doing it this way, again, the storytelling of that, just like chef's kiss. Loved it.
Yeah.
So into it. I do want to say how cool, I guess cool. Yeah, it was really cool. So, Alex Abrahantes had a backup mask, and he slides it to Penta. Andrade gets it, throws it into the crowd. The crowd is chanting, "Throw it back." And the fan who got it does not throw it back. And this crowd, if I was that guy, I'm out. I'm leaving. This crowd was booing that fan, because I think that people might look at it like, oh no, they were booing Andrade because he was being a heel. No, you could tell based off the fans' reaction. The fans were legitimately upset that this one fan did not throw the Penta mask back to get it to Penta, which I don't blame him for not doing it, but also I thought it was just incredible. I thought it was really, really fucking cool that the crowd got involved a little bit here.
Yeah, I gotta say, if I was the dude that caught the mask, there's no shot I'm throwing that back. I'd be looking around like, what mask? It would already be under my shirt. I'd be like, what are you talking about? Yeah. So this was an absolute great match. I loved the finish here. It was great. Put over Rush and Andrade very well. I thought they looked super strong at the end here. And, it didn't make the Lucha Brothers look bad at all. It was, kept them looking strong. So I thought this was a excellent match. I can't wait to see what we do with Ingobernables here. It's going to be good.
Yeah, well, they're leading to the Young Bucks match next week. So, I mean, they kind of needed to win this to go up against the Bucks to look good. So, yeah, I mean.
Yep, absolutely.
Again, I thought this was a great match. Absolute great match. Purple's favorite is Penta. Jeff, I don't know if you know.
Purple's favorite is Penta. I got Penta and Phoenix actually up here autographed. So there's Phoenix right there autographed, and there is Penta right there autographed. Yeah, just absolutely great match. I love anytime I see the Lucha Brothers in the ring. It's just, you're gonna have a good time. It's just gonna be a good time.
Absolutely.
All right, next up was one of my favorite segments of the night, and probably Rome's least favorite segment of the night. The Young Bucks searching for Hangman in the backstage. They find him in the locker room hanging out with the Dark Order. Bunch of bros in the back in the locker room. And they essentially they want to apologize to Hangman and thank him for saving them last week, saying you didn't have to do that. We really appreciate it. And they asked him to be the third on their team for these trio tournaments. And they got denied. What'd you think of this?
So, number one, this was an amazing promo from Matt Jackson. There was a lot of heartfelt and honesty in this promo. And you could feel it kind of halfway through. Matt's talking about the Elite and being in the past and how he fears that those days are the best days that not only in his career, but maybe his life. The Dark Order is fine. We'll talk about it. we'll talk about it. I thought that this was incredible. It was just again, just this promo from Matt. Like, not only does he apologize, he praises Hangman here. It's like, for the BT weekly watchers, like, this is what we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for this. We've envisioned this apology where they make up and everything's gonna be okay, and we're gonna be good, and the Elite's back together, and like, fuck yeah. And we didn't get that. Matt kind of pours his heart out. Apologizes, praises Hangman, says he's so proud of him for being the world champion and being the Elite. Great line, by the way. He's like, you weren't just some jobber, you weren't just like the lackey of the Elite, like, you were the Elite. And just Hangman says he appreciates it, but no, like, that's the past. And then he says, like, the Dark Order have my back, so I feel like I have to have theirs. And for me, like, I know I joke about hating the Dark Order, and I don't hate the Dark Order. I think that they're in booking purgatory. My biggest issue with them is, in this storyline, they're the obstacle between what I want to have happen. So, yes, like, for me, the Dark Order are, like, almost heels right now, for me personally. Obviously, they're not booked like heels, but, like, they're the ones that are standing in the way of, like, as a fan, what I want to see have happen. So, like, I feel conflicted because they're baby faces still, but, like, I kind of just want to boo them because they're just in the way of this beautiful moment. So the moment didn't go the way myself and probably most people who were waiting for this moment, like, it didn't go the way we envisioned it. Where we go from here, I don't know. I don't know if maybe that's just that. Maybe there's more to it. Kind of trying to figure it out, fantasy booking into the future. Maybe the Dark Order loses in that first round and that kind of leads to something. I don't know. I do have a little bit of news that I was going to share that I saw before we went on the podcast tonight. I'll save it for later in the show. But if it's true, then that could be pretty bad news for the Dark Order's booking going forward. But yeah, I mean, this was a really awesome segment. I absolutely loved it. But, like, the Dark Order right now, like, I can't like them right now. I just can't like them at all. Like, fuck the Dark Order for getting in the way here. Like, ugh.
So Coach Nick, I gotta disagree with you here. If you don't notice, I have a literal shrine to the Dark Order here. I do think they are entertaining, but I do think at the moment they need something. I don't like them being in this storyline with Hangman. I hope they get through this quickly. I think they need something like a Wyndham. Like, without Wyndham, I don't know what on earth you're going to be able to do with them. It's just kind of stale. Maybe drop it down to just a couple of guys. I think 10 should separate from the group and take his mask off. Something like that. It's just not too sure what's going on. You know what I mean?
It's really hard to kind of vibe with the Dark Order because they're not doing anything meaningful. Little Bird told Big T King Rome secretly dresses like Evil Uno. No, that's not true. Jeff is the one that dresses like Evil Uno.
I do dress like Evil Uno, by the way. I have cosplayed him at one of our shows that we've gone to. You may see Evil Uno cosplay in the future. You never know.
But it's just really hard to like the Dark Order right now because they're not doing anything from a booking perspective, and then they're getting in the way here of the Elite, which a lot of fans want to see. So it's just the slow burn. I don't think the story is over necessarily. Ideally, I would like to see the Dark Order kind of get eliminated in the first round of the tournament, leading Hangman to kind of break up with them. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they blame Hangman or something. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens in that feud. I mean, but yeah, it's very hard to like the Dark Order or feel good about the Dark Order at the moment.
Yep, I agree. They need some sort of a badass leader, and it can't just be something mediocre or anything like that. It's got to be like Wyndham. Like, that's all I can say.
Well, so I'll just mention it now. I saw a rumor that apparently, and we'll see if it happens tomorrow, Fightful is going to put out a story tomorrow citing that WWE officials believe that Bray Wyatt's going to return to WWE. That they feel confident that they're going to be the ones to be able to sign him and bring him back. Now that doesn't mean he is signing, but it apparently we'll see what happens. Apparently it was a story that was gonna be reported by Fightful tomorrow, so keep an eye on Fightful. We'll talk more about it on Friday probably.
They're probably just speculating, you know what I mean? Because everybody's talking about it right now, just looking for the clicks and all that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we will see.
Yeah. All right, so next up was a Jungle Boy coming out first, and then Luchasaurus coming out to have a match with Anthony Henry. Jungle Boy joined on commentary there, but didn't really say much. You know, he said a few things, but it was what it was. I didn't expect Anthony Henry to just get straight up squashed here, but man, that was a squash if I have ever seen one. Luchasaurus no-sold about everything he did, and just crushed him with one move, and that was that. What'd you think of this?
You're surprised that he got squashed?
Just because I've seen them use the workhorsemen a little bit more, you know, than I would have thought for somebody who's going to get squashed like that. Usually you take somebody off of Dark or some sort of unheard of local talent, but it was fine. I wasn't expecting it is all.
Yeah, so post-match, Christian Cage comes up on the screen, says that Minneapolis doesn't deserve to have him come out. Which case, Jungle Boy. So I really liked this, right? Because this is something that happens a lot in wrestling, where it's like one guy's backstage and the other isn't, and he's just like talking mad shit, and Jungle Boy's just like, I know where you are.
Exactly.
I know where you are.
I said that out loud. I was like, he knows where you are.
Yeah, and so he just books it to where he is, and I just thought that was excellent. So he gets there. Christian kind of runs away. The refs are stopping Jungle Boy. Luchasaurus comes out and just starts laying out the referees, knocks out Pat Buck.
Yeah, the headbutt to Pat Buck, man. Something's gonna go on there.
I feel like Luchasaurus is gonna get suspended.
Yep.
Which is gonna lead to Christian and Jungle Boy, that feud continuing, where it's just Luchasaurus isn't here. I think it's a really awesome way to kind of book Luchasaurus out, so that way you can have this feud focus.
If he's a babyface, why is he still in black? To keep that little bit of wonder in the back of your mind there.
No, I think that they just went through the effort of repackaging him, so they're going to keep it that way. It's a great look. He looks
amazing.
The black looks great. The entrance is great still. You might as well keep it because it's the most intimidating he's looked. So he
looks better in black, and there's actually a different mask I've seen from Luchasaurus's way back in the indies in the past, where it's a black mask, but it looks more like an actual dinosaur. Some people are wondering if he would ever bring that back, but I don't think so. I think they're going to keep him like this.
Possibly.
Anyways, all right, so next up was a Miro promo, and Julia Hart shows up in this promo. You were mentioning earlier how you thought she absolutely killed it tonight, so...
Yeah, I was going to say, do you mind if I take it from here? I know old man Jeff gets really confused by these Miro promos. So, Miro basically, we've had this thing going on where Miro's fighting the poison from Malachi Black, the Black Mist. And so Julia shows up in this promo in this room that Miro is doing these promos in. And she grabs Miro by the beard and she tells him to accept the gift that he was given, like she has. Which, God, Julia did such a great job with this presentation and the delivery of this promo, of that line. In which case, Miro gets upset and he tells Julia, takes her hand off his beard and basically says, there's only one woman that can touch me, and you aren't her. And he says, tell your pagans I accept their gifts, and I'm going to use them to destroy them. So basically this is Miro saying that he will not be joining the House of Black. He's accepted the Black Mist to become darker and more violent, but he is not going to follow the House of Black. Which again is why I believe we're going to be getting Miro versus Malachi Black at All Out. So this was a really good promo, and it moved this story along in the right direction. Again, just having Julia there, kind of like the House of Black sends Julia Hart to Miro to kind of get his answer. I thought that was just really badass, and the fact that Miro is like, no, I'm going to use this darkness against you. I just thought it was an excellent promo, excellent segment. And we'll probably see Lana, CJ Perry. I feel like it's coming. I mean, the fact that he referenced her again. So yeah, I think we see her soon. Maybe we see her at All Out. But yeah, it was. This is an excellent segment. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah, this would actually be excellent to bring in Lana versus Julia Hart there. You know, get Lana in the back training with some of the girls before she actually gets back in the ring. You know, make sure she's not got that ring rust going on. But I think that'd be great.
Yeah, and I just think that Miro versus Malachi Black is going to be an absolute banger as well to get it all out. I think All Out's going to be a really special card. It's going to shape up really well, I think, over the course of the next few weeks.
All
to
right.
answer Coach Nick, no, I don't think Lana's a very good wrestler personally. No. I if they bring her in, I really actually don't want to see her wrestle. I would rather her just kind of valet. But
yeah, I don't want her to be like an actual wrestler in the ring, but I think she can get physical. Like if she were to like hop in there and beat up Julia or something, that'd be fine. You know what I mean? But not a full blown wrestler. If
I mean, I would argue I think Julia should beat up Lana personally. I think that the way that the booking goes, and I think it would do Julia more good for her to beat up Lana than the other way around.
We'll have to see what type of character Lana has. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Next up was the Factory with Will Hobbs. You know, kind of backstage talking about Ricky Starks. And Will Hobbs said to the Factory, you know, don't let your problem become mine. And I was kind of like, isn't he already your problem? But I guess, you know, Hobbs felt like he already dealt with the problem. So, you know.
I think it was more so Hobbs was rejecting. So QT is currently like, he's trying to expand the Factory. And I took that as Hobbs is basically rejecting that. He's like, don't bring me into this. Like, if you're going to beat the shit out of Ricky, like, I hope you do. But, like, don't expect me to come and help you. Like, this is your problem. You handle Ricky Starks.
Yeah. All right. Next up was a Sanjay Dutt, Jay Lethal, and Satnam Singh coming down to the ring to cut a promo on Wardlow. Jay Lethal essentially challenges him to another match for the title. Wardlow's music immediately hits and he comes out to accept. After he accepts, he says, but I'm about to come down there and whoop all three of your asses right now. And whose music hits but none other than the best tag team in the world, FTR. Now, I actually really enjoyed FTR coming out with Wardlow here. It's something that like I didn't know I needed. You know, when you get something that's like, hey, I never thought about that, but thank you. You know what I mean? Like, that's going to be a great. If that's our trios team, I don't know if that's going to be a trios team. Maybe they're just doing that for right now. You know, we'll see. Because they were kind of hinting at the Punk and the FTR trios thing, but they may be putting that on the back burner with this whole, you know, champion and interim champion thing. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, I mean, I know that everyone wants to see that, and I would love to see it too, but I think CM Punk's clearly busy with what he's dealing with, and then FTR are still the tag team champions. So, I mean, I wouldn't expect to see that for a while. Unfortunately, maybe even if at all. I think that the stars might just not align that way for them to do that. But we will see. Is my video
Your camera
back on?
has gone off.
Is it still off? I had to fix something real quick.
Let's take a look.
On the Discord, I'm back on. Let me try turning it off. There we go. I just turned it off and turned it back on. Hopefully that fixes it. Okay. Yeah, sorry. I was having my charger for the laptop came out, so I had to fix it real quick.
Music.
I didn't want to.
What music?
What music? What are you talking about?
Oh, is there music on my screen? Okay.
Jesus, Jeff, what are you doing? Right. Old man Jeff on the ones and twos, just absolutely blowing it. You hate to see it.
I actually did not know there was music attached to this photo. It's the photo of Las Vegas behind me here. By the way, what do you guys think of me up in the top floor of the Bellagio looking out over Las Vegas here? Got myself a nice room up here with a beautiful view.
And the high rollers finally finally hit a jackpot at one of the slots.
Yeah.
For one. They're not in shambles at the moment.
Not at the moment. All right, is the music on? I didn't realize there was actually music attached to that. That's crazy.
Yeah, there was I blacked out because I was having issues with my laptop, so I just turned the camera off real quick. But I should be back now, so hopefully everything's good.
All right, cool. Let me make sure. Shouldn't be any on yours either.
Yeah, Jeff's in shambles. He's up in that penthouse, just he has a laptop in front of him. The laptop's on fire, and it's just.
Hey, you know, when you do some messing around with the whole podcast here, something's bound to, you know, couple of loose ends somewhere.
Yeah. Anyways, so I guess while you're trying to figure that out, moving forward, so we got a JS promo at this point. The JS says that Jericho's winning the gold tonight. They got a little bit of the bubbly back in the room. They have like a party set up for him. Daniel Garcia talking that shit. He says he's the Dragon Slayer. Saying that he sent Bryan Danielson on a vacation again, and he should thank him. And then, of course, we have Anna Jay just being crazy, just starts choking someone out again.
That was awesome, by the way.
Yeah, Big T saying we're good, so I think we should be all right. But so it was an awesome segment, and it's a great faction. Anna Jay really fitting in here. I'm really happy she's out of the Dark Order. I think right now the Dark Order kind of feels like a death trap. So, happy for her. Very happy for her.
Like I said, I think this is the best stuff Anna Jay has been doing in her career. So I'm fine with her being out of the Dark Order there. If you didn't see it, basically when Daniel Garcia called himself the Dragon Slayer, she just jumps out of nowhere and she's like, "Hey, you don't believe that he's the Dragon Slayer? I'm going to choke you out." Next thing you see is she's got this girl on the ground choking her out, and the girl's all like, ah. It was so good. I love what Anna Jay is doing right now. Anna JAS is perfect. Love it.
Dark Order's in shambles.
I don't know, man. They got Hangman in their corner. You can't say they're in shambles at the moment.
Why would you say that to me?
I mean,
why would you say that?
Because it's true. I mean,
now I'm just upset. It's gonna take something. I'll say this: Tony Khan giveth, he also taketh away. And also, when Tony Khan closes a door, the man fucking opens a window. And that's all I'm gonna say for right
absolutely.
now. That's all I'm gonna say for right now.
All right. So let's see here. Next up was the JAS promo on Moxley. That's what we just went over with the whole Anna Jay thing after she choked out that girl. Next up was Ricky Stark's video package on Aaron Solo of how they used to be a tag team back in the day. I was actually completely unaware of this. Was this in AEW or was this before they were both in AEW?
This was before AEW. Answer the coach's question, what would happen if Cody Rhodes came back to lead the Dark Order? That would make it worse.
It'd be really funny because I actually got Cody Rhodes to join the Dark Order. Funny story. When I was cosplaying as Evil Uno.
Well, Jeff, you see, the problem about Cody Rhodes is he's fucking crooked. So he was going to say whatever he needed to say to get you to pop off like a mark. He worked you, Jeff. He's not actually in the Dark Order. I hate to break it to you. I don't want to upset you. I really don't. But we need to be real with ourselves. Cody Rhodes is just a giant, massive pile of dog shit. We just got to call a spade a spade. Learn from our mistakes. Move forward.
I'm going to, real quick here, I'm going to go to the display screen so you guys can see what I mean. This was me at, where was this show at? Was this the one in Philly? This was in Philly, wasn't it?
Yeah, this was the Philly show, the Liacouras Center.
Yes, this was at the Liacouras Center in Philadelphia. I got to meet Cody Rhodes, and I just so happened to be in my Evil Uno cosplay, and I got Cody to join the Dark Order. It was great.
Yeah. Yes, Juan. I established this. I believe it was either in the Discord or on the last episode of the podcast. I absolutely was worked by Cody Rhodes. And
we all were, man. We all were.
We all were, man. Yeah, again, like I'm not gonna take shots at Jeff about this. Like it's not Jeff's fault. He said he was one thing and he ended up being a two-faced crook who, he's a fucking liar. So I mean, he's just not very genuine, very disingenuous.
Yeah. So I gotta say this:
yeah.
when we met Cody, did you notice it looked like he was wearing like a 1/4 inch of makeup? Like he had plastered makeup on.
Yeah, I mean, possibly. Yeah, see, Purple never liked the guy. I never liked him either. I said I liked him, but I never.
He literally looked like, I don't know if you guys ever had a girl like this in your high school, but there was always a girl in my school, could have been one here, one there, where you could take your finger and like wipe it across her face and the makeup would like wipe off and you would be able to see how much foundation was on her face. That's how Cody Rhodes' face looked to me. Like it was very odd. I almost thought it was like a guy in Cody Rhodes' makeup. It was very weird.
Yeah, can't.
Y'all know MJF, Starks, Caster, Julia, Conti, Fuego. Everyone has done work in WWE at some point. Yes, I have seen all of them. Max Caster was one of Bobby Lashley's sisters. That is one of the funny things in my brain there.
Yeah, well, anyways,
let's move. All right, so let's go next up. This was a great match with Ricky Starks and Aaron Solo. After the video package, we immediately got the match. And there was no entrance for Aaron Solo, man. Poor Solo. Get fucked, huh?
I mean, this is what I thought this was exactly what it should be. I mean,
yeah.
No offense to Aaron Solo. I think Aaron Solo is a great worker. But, I mean, being realistic, Ricky Starks is on another level now. He has evolved, and he's been elevated. Throwback. Callback. And just, yeah, he's on a different level now. So he should not be even really putting up much of a fight against Aaron Solo. He absolutely should beat Aaron Solo pretty quickly, and he did. It was the perfect statement victory for him, in my opinion. Thought it was great. It was a fast match. Ricky looked great. The Factory tries to come down and get him, and he runs away up into the crowd, which was an awesome moment to see. The crowd, again, loves Ricky Starks. This was a great crowd tonight. And I loved they had Hobbs backstage watching the TV, and he takes the TV and he just slams it because he is upset. He did want the Factory to take care of his problem for him.
Oh, he crushed that fucking TV, dude. He like body slammed that thing. All right. So if you guys didn't see, I just threw up the avatars on screen. Actually, I forgot that I was going to throw these up tonight to see what you guys thought of them. If you guys want to click on that link there, you can change your avatar to there's 300 different ones. You could pick from a bunch of wrestlers, Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z characters, whatever you guys want. So let me know what you guys think of that. All right. So next up after this, Ricky Starks, this was the Gun Club doing a promo backstage. We had Daddy Ass cutting a promo to his sons about the Acclaimed. I think you should take over this one.
Yeah, so Billy Gunn was mad. He told his sons, how could you guys in one night take the one match that I made famous and ruin it? And the Gun Club, the Ass Boys, are just kind of sitting there, kind of dejected, deflated. They're not very happy with themselves. Stokely shows up, and Billy's saying, you miss this is what makes me miss the Acclaimed. We shouldn't have broken up. And Stokely kind of goes to give him the card. They don't, we have a split up coming. It's gonna be Billy Gunn probably getting turned on, and who knows, maybe Billy Gunn. You know what? Oh wow, what if Billy Gunn goes and works with the Acclaimed?
I know, right?
I just thought about that. So clearly, with his storylines going, Stokely wants Austin and Colton to join his faction that he's growing, which they're heels, so it makes sense for them to do. Billy Gunn was very upset with them. He's trying to he's scolding them, and so they don't seem very happy about it. Stokely kind of is taking shots at Billy Gunn, and Billy Gunn clearly is like, "Get the fuck out of here. We don't want you here." So yeah, I mean, they're clearly going towards a breakup. Maybe Billy Gunn gets saved by the Acclaim. That would actually be really cool. I didn't think about that. No, Coach, I don't think Road Dogg's going to get a job anytime soon. with AEW or maybe with WWE either. I don't think
such a weird situation.
Yeah, right? Like it makes no sense. Look, if you're trying to get a job, here's some life advice with the champ, right? Here's some life advice. If you're trying to get a job, any job, doesn't matter where, anywhere. If you like go on the radio or like a public forum and you're like, I don't understand why you won't hire me. Tell me the reason. And you're basically grilling him and you're basically telling like your potential employer, like, you do a lot of shit bad and I can't fucking stand it. If you hire me, I'll fix your problems for you. And like, you can't bury them and then like demand to know why you won't get hired. Like, what a weird fucking guy. You know what I mean? Like, you almost got to think, like, did he even want a job, or was he just like, fuck it, I'll try?
It was definitely an odd career move if you ask anybody who's a a career what do you call it?
Suicide.
Yeah, counselor. There we go.
Oh, I thought you were saying like it was career suicide that he did.
No, yeah, that was definitely some career suicide. That was odd.
Yeah. Oh, and so that to end the segment, Danhausen shows up. Billy Gunn says he's made a match for them on Rampage. Danhausen shows up with and he mentions that bearded fellow. And at this point, unfortunately, I figured that Wyndham was not coming tonight.
Yeah.
There was reports that came out that Eric Redbeard was backstage tonight. So of course, you have to. Everyone freaks out. They're like, "Is Wyndham coming tonight? We don't know." And no, he was brought in because he's from Minneapolis. He's from that area, and they brought him in to work a match. So.
Yeah, the one thing that caught my eye is when Danhausen touched, I think that was Austin Gunn's arm. Austin like slapped his hand away and like looked at him and said, "Don't touch me." I don't know why, but it felt real. Did that come across to you at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they're just kind of disgruntled, and they're heels.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, I think so.
All right. So next up, we had another backstage promo with the best friends, including Orange Cassidy and the Trustbusters, with Parker Boudreaux there to be the big meanie looking guy. He looks scary, man. But I can't wait to see some more of him in the ring. Essentially, Ari Daivari tells Orange Cassidy to ditch the best friends, and he says no.
So you're gonna skip over the other thing that Ari Daivari said, huh? That makes sense.
Go ahead.
So Ari Daivari, yeah, for those that don't watch Dark, Ari Daivari basically his trust fund kicked in, so now the gimmick is he's like the richest man in pro wrestling, which obviously not true, but like Tony Khan was like, oh okay, that's fine, you can have that gimmick. But so the storyline is that he's going around trying to buy up the contracts of the greatest talent that he could find. And the first man that this guy has gone into AEW to ask is Orange Cassidy. He shows up and he says, as you know, I'm looking for the best talent in AEW to sign. And now while I'm watching this, I know Jeff's in shambles. I know that the Jeff's just like, what do you mean Orange Cassidy's the best talent? Like, oh my god, he's probably like, I could just picture Jeffrey, spelled Jefffery, is sitting there watching this and just absolutely torn apart that anyone would say Orange Cassidy is the best talent in AEW. But here we are. So yeah, this is a fun promo. It sets up for this tournament match. Orange Cassidy is one of the best talents in AEW, Jeff. Sorry to upset you, but it's the truth. So.
I agree. It definitely is the truth.
You know what, Coach? I actually have. I'm not really a tie-dye guy, but I do have I buy most of the best friend shirts. So I don't know. I might buy it. I don't know.
Yeah. I was gonna say I don't think that one's your style, but
yeah, it's not quite my style. I saw it and I thought about it, but I prefer I don't mind color. It's just tie-dye is not really my thing.
See, Juan, I think they like again NXT was a handcuff for somebody like Parker. Like, what was there for him to do? He was that Joe Gacy guy's sidekick. Like, there was nothing, there was nowhere for that character to go, man. And
Yeah, I
they
mean,
just released him like they did everybody else.
I would also say that Parker gives off, I mean, clearly he looks like it, but he gives off like very early Brock Lesnar vibes.
Yeah, and he's not really a Brock wannabe because he's actually like Brock's protege. Like Brock was training him a bit, I believe. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I agree. I think the coach puts it really well here. Parker is super green. He'll be good in a few years,
Yes,
but he's just
absolutely.
really young.
I agree with that 100%, Coach.
Yeah, and Juan, there is a big difference between a prospect like Parker Boudreaux and Karrion Kross. There is a big difference there. Karrion
Kross
Kross
is
does
legit
nothing
ready for, you know, TV, all that stuff. But.
Yeah, like they're literally going to inject Karrion Kross into the main event scene there, which I don't blame them. I mean, they don't have anything else going on SmackDown.
They might put him right in there with the match with Roman and Drew McIntyre. They might have a triple threat.
They probably will, and I just don't. I don't care about I don't care about Karrion Kross at all. The guy is nothing but a cool entrance for me. I think he's not a good worker. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
A lot of people are excited for him, and I'm excited for that. I'm happy that people are happy. But yeah, it's like
we'll see.
Does nothing for me. I don't really care.
All right. Next up, we had Madison Rayne versus Jade Cargill for the TBS Championship. I thought this was a decent match. Nothing to write home about. There was a couple of wonky spots in there, but I actually think the big wonky spot with the pump kick to Kiera Hogan, I think that was Kiera Hogan's fault. She like jumped out of the way of the kick freaking 3 feet before it got to her. But I thought this was a decent match. It was serviceable. Madison Rayne looked good. I thought she made Jade look good. And, you know, other than those couple of wonky spots, you know, it was what it was. What did you think?
Yeah, I was fine with it. I was more concerned with during the match on commentary, they said that Statlander was injured, which they go on to talk about it more post-match. Thought it was good. Jade looked great, as she usually does. Seems like Athena's going to challenge her next. I'm a little bummed out. It's interesting because they made it seem like Chris Statlander was next in line for the women's championship, not the TBS championship. Because so afterwards we get this promo with Tony Schiavone, Tony Storm, and Thunder Rosa, and they're saying that with Chris Statlander being out, Tony Storm is now the #1 contender for the women's championship. And my initial thought here was kind of disappointment. I like everyone involved. I was just kind of like, why are we doing Tony Storm versus Thunder Rosa again? I think that there's a lot of talent on the AEW women's division that I like Tony Storm, and it makes sense for her to still be in the title picture, but it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I was kind of underwhelmed. Like, I don't know which way they're going with this, if they're just going to do another match at All Out, but it just seems it seems like an odd choice. The rankings kind of tie them down, but I mean, the rankings can always be kind of adjusted, like in a sense where you just book some more matches and change the rankings. But I don't know. I don't know. What do you think about Thunder Rosa and Tony Storm going at it again?
I'm interested to see the match again. I think it's time to get that belt off of Thunder for some reason. I don't know. A lot of people are starting to turn on her. I've seen people on Twitter that are like, "Get her off my TV." And by the way, I just started a battle royale match in the avatars there. They're all going to fight till there's one person left.
See, I don't think it's that necessarily. I just kind of feel like I agree with Maduga. I also miss Sheeta.
Oh, me too.
I don't know. It's just really odd. I don't think that Thunder Rosa. I don't think it's her fault for her lackluster title reign. You know, Tony Khan actually had an interview today, and he made a really good point, and it's what we've been talking about. He said there's not a lot of, like, we don't have a lot of TV time, and he admitted that the competition, WWE, they have 7 hours a week to fill. I have 3. Like, they're very limited with the TV time they have, and I think that's kind of where Thunder Rosa's problem has kind of arisen. It's been a very underwhelming title reign because of that, and it's a really weird decision to have Toni Storm line back up against Thunder Rosa. I mean, there are a bunch of heels in the women's division that are picking up wins on Dark. You know what I mean? And it just seems kind of out of place to do that. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, unless they're going to turn Toni Storm heel, which I guess they could do, that would make it a little bit different. But it is weird. Big T asking, by the time she defends the TNT title, she should be either 39 or 40-0, and that's when Sasha should come out. I mean, we'll see. Coach is over the rankings. I like the rankings. I think it's important for wins and losses to matter. And the nice thing about the rankings is if you need to make a change, it's very easy to do that. You just book some matches. It makes everything make sense. And again, it adds value to Dark and Elevation. I know we talk about this on a regular basis. I don't think Dark and Elevation is necessarily like must watch, but it's very important if you're trying to follow everything in AEW. I mean, if you don't watch Dark or Elevation, you have no fucking idea who the Trust Busters are, for example.
True.
And again, I would just say, like, you don't have to watch it live because it's not live, it's taped. But like, just try to fit it into your schedule somewhere. Like this morning, I watched Dark, and it was a good show. I enjoyed it. But yeah, just I would recommend it. I would say try to fit it in somewhere. Maybe you're like at work on your lunch break, or you're whatever. You're getting ready in the morning. You spend an hour taking a crap in the morning, like whatever you got to do. Coach saying, for what I just said, he hates the rankings. No, I mean, like, the rankings make sense. I mean, you want to have a number one contender, and you want to have contenders underneath. I mean, I guess you're saying you don't like them because of how easily they can be changed. I mean, I don't know. I think it just makes the matches matter. It makes everything matters. Like, the wins and losses matter. It's not just, like, this is another thing that WWE is going to continue to do that I appreciate AEW for not doing is, like, and we talked about this with Cody and Seth. Cody and Seth wrestled, what was it, like 30 times?
Yeah, it was like 21.
Yeah, like they're working all these house shows together, and they're doing the same match over and over again. Like it's going to lose its specialness, you know what I mean? Whereas like in AEW, every match feels fresh and feels unique and feels different, and it's just preferable. Coach saying, "Oh, you're going to get pushed. Oh, here's 20 dark matches for 20 easy dubs." So I can understand that. I do understand that reasoning. And I do think that it would be better for them to kind of lay off the enhancement matches. I do agree with that.
Yeah.
But you could, like, when I say it's easy to book, I'm just saying in a sense that you could literally have 3 matches in a week on TV. Like let's say, for example, Jeff, pick a heel in the women's division for me. Just
Marina Shafir.
Okay, Marina Shafir, thank you. So let's say on paper, Marina Shafir and Thunder Rosa, they were going to try to do that match again. But let's say for the sake of the thought process that they have not faced yet. If they wanted to make Marina Shafir a credible threat to Thunder Rosa in the rankings, you have her wrestle on Dark, you have her wrestle on Elevation, you have her wrestle on Dynamite. That's 3 wins. And like, of course, you don't want to see them be enhancement matches. Have her do matches against, Sky Blue, or, one of the other, maybe not, even some of the more over baby faces. You know what I mean? Like, it's a good idea. It's a good structure to have where you can, in like 2 weeks, you can get someone there. But I agree, doing it in terms of easy enhancement matches isn't always the best idea. So, I mean, I will give you that one.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I do have to somewhat give Juan a little bit of an agreement, here, where I do think Tony could be booking this women's division a little bit better. It just seems like his focus hasn't been on the women's division other than maybe Jade. It does seem like he's trying to push her a little harder than everywhere else. So I do see people's criticism in the division, and, we can only hope it'll get better. He, obviously he's still learning, he's only going to get better. So we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. Again, like the talent's there. You just gotta book it. Coach, I mean, Sky Blue is kind of on I was using her name as an example, but she's kind of on the cusp. You know what I mean? Like she's on the lower end of the rankings, but she's not enhancement talent.
They're
She's
definitely not
gotten wins.
treating her that way. She's got a mixed tag match with Sammy and
Ty.
Can't even think of her name right now. Ty.
Yeah, Ty. Yeah.
But all right, let's get back on track here. So, did you mention how Athena came out and beat up Jade at the end, and Hogan made the save?
I did. And right. Before we get back on track, I just want to make one more, because Coach just said something that is probably one of the biggest disagreements I may ever have with Coach, or may have had to date. Hangman's title reign was not boring. I don't know what you were watching if you thought Hangman had a boring title reign. This man had 2 fucking bangers with Bryan Danielson. He had death matches with Adam Cole and Lance Archer. Like, and that's just half of the title reign. That no offense, Coach, that's in my opinion a very bad take.
Lex Luger has appeared. All right. Well, I actually slightly disagree with Nick as well. I don't think it was what I would call boring, but do I think his reign could have been slightly better? Yes. But, we'll leave that there.
I thought it was great. I don't know. I don't know what everyone's talking about.
No, there was definitely 2 sides of a coin for the Hangman thing. I know people that thought his run was absolute trash, and I know people that thought it was amazing. I'm like a little bit more towards the amazing, but, I can see both sides.
My question is, what's the argument that it was bad? Like what is the argument there?
I don't really know because I don't agree with them per se, but I'm guessing it was his opposition, like Lance Archer. Yeah, I don't know.
It was Bryan fucking Danielson.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, I don't agree with them. So
no. I'm not mad at you. I'm just saying, like, I would like to be made aware as how. Hangman, Moxley, Omega, Hangman definitely the worst. I wouldn't say he's the worst. He was the first guy that wasn't, how do I want to say this? That wasn't like a world champion elsewhere.
Yeah, you got to look at the other 2 names you just mentioned there, bro. Like, you named Moxley and Omega, 2 of the number 1, possibly you could argue those to be number 1 in the world. Just the fact that he's being talked in the same, sentence as them.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Again, like, I would like to continue this discourse. Like, Coach saying it was boring for him. Like, Coach, did you watch the Bryan Danielson matches? Like, they went to a 1-hour time limit draw, and then they had that really bloody match afterwards.
Everybody knew Danielson wasn't going to win, though. I mean,
what?
I guess.
Well, Coach, that's an awful argument, because you could make that argument for any champion ever. Like Moxley's interim title reign was boring because there was no way Brody King was going to beat him, and there's no way Tanahashi was going to beat him. Like, I don't know, man. That's kind of a crappy argument to say whether a champion was good or not, whether it was believable whether they were going to win or like whether they were going to lose their title or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not understanding that. I'm not picking up what you're putting.
I kind of see what might have happened here to some people too, because let's say that, Kenny Omega's title run was a 10 out of 10 title run, right? And then let's say Mox's was another 10 out of 10 title run. Like, those were 2 absolute amazing, title runs that we had in AEW. And then we get Hangman to come, and let's say it was an 8 out of 10 or even 7.5 out of 10. That's going to feel disappointing to some of these people who were like massive, Omega and Moxley fans. You're going to think it was a little bit lackluster because he's not Omega and not Moxley. You know what I mean? Like, it's still a great run.
Well, I'm saying he wasn't as over as he should have been. Really? I didn't think that at all. We went to...
Oh my God. The pops were deafening if you were there. Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff and I went, we were there at the AEW Dynamite anniversary when he won the title shot against Omega. We were there when he fought Bryan Danielson the second time. Like, that was like, and that, to be fair, that New Jersey crowd wasn't very good, but the hottest that they were all night was for that match.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I can't agree about Hangman's personality is not where I would want it. He is a little bit too like nice guy for me, but it is what it is.
I just disagree. Hangman is like it's kind of his gimmick. Like his character, the way he carries himself, he is what he is because that's his character.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, man. Listen, obviously everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I'm not sitting here saying Adam Page is the greatest champion of all time, but like I thought that title reign was spectacular, and I was not an Adam Page guy before the title reign, but I ended up being an Adam Page guy after the title reign.
Yeah. Lex Luger says, "Oh wow, I see Pokemon. Yes, you are a Persia, I believe, but your name doesn't show up because you use some wacky letters on YouTube." But all right, so next up we had the Mox versus Lionheart Chris Jericho match. And man, when they said that they wanted the Lionheart, did we get them? Because this entire match was just the Lionheart Chris Jericho written all over it, man. I really enjoyed this. I know some people say they don't want to see Jericho wrestle anymore, but I thought this was just as entertaining as any match of his I had ever seen in the past.
Man, Chris Jericho deserves a lot of credit and a lot
Absolutely.
of praise. Like number one, like we talked about earlier, the guy looked like Chris Jericho from 25 years ago. He looked great tonight, and absolute props to him for wrestling the match that he wrestled tonight. This was a different Chris Jericho. It was the Lionheart. This was the Chris Jericho that cut one of my all-time favorite joke promos of the man with 1,004 holds.
Yeah.
Like this was that Chris Jericho tonight. This was the return of that Jericho who went to commercial break reading the list, came back from commercial break still reading the list. Which is like that's like an all-timer. And like that was that Jericho, and this was an excellent wrestling match, an all-time classic. This is an all-time classic. This is the kind of match where it's like a few years from now, if they ever put together like an AEW like best of like Dynamite compilation, like this is a really, really good match. And it's complete credit to Jericho. Obviously, Mox was great, but Jericho really stood out for me in this match.
Yeah, Jericho stood out for me too. Like I kept on I couldn't take my eyes off of this match. I wanted to run to the bathroom. I couldn't do it. They did all the commercials picture in picture, and I was watching the match in the picture in picture. This was great.
Yeah, I loved the Jericho takes Moxie's earring, rips it out of his ear. They come back from commercial break, and he's just like blood's pouring down his face.
So nasty.
Yep.
So we had Moxley with a from my point of view, a very rare jump off the top rope to the outside. He did the old double axe handle smash to Jericho's head. I thought that was really nice. I don't think I've ever seen Moxley jump off the top rope to the outside. Have you?
No, I'm not sure. I mean, if he does, it's a very rare move from him.
Yeah,
you don't see it very often.
He tried to do another one of these into the ring, but he got caught with a code breaker for a 2 count there. Next up, Sammy Guevara showed up in the crowd after Jericho ripped off the turnbuckle. Sammy Guevara utilized the distraction for Ref Aubrey there, and he threw the bat in the ring. He kind of missed, and the bat went out of the ring, so Jericho had to scurry out of the ring real quick and grab the bat. Came back in and waxed Moxley in the head with the bat. And again, we got another 2 count actually. I thought we might have saw, some shenanigans there and get a 3 count. But nope, Mox kicks out at 2. Jericho puts Moxley in the Lion Tamer and stretches the shit out of him like he told him he was going to do. This Lion Tamer, man, that thing looks painful. And I don't know if you've ever like messed around back in the day with your friends, but it actually is. That thing sucks.
No one ever put me in it, but I put someone in it and they got very upset with me.
Yeah, it is not fun. It does not feel good. I think there was even a commercial break where Moxley spent the entire commercial break in the walls of Jericho, not the Lion Tamer, but man, that was brutal on Mox. He definitely got stretched out. But Mox reverses the Lion Tamer and puts Jericho into the chokehold. And this looked like a UFC fight, man. There was blood everywhere, all over the mat and all over both of these dudes. And Jericho taps out. This match was fucking awesome. And I think we ended this match with about 5 minutes left, so I definitely perked up in my chair.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, who's going to come and make the save? And whose music do we hear but none other than CM Punk. Best in the world is back. Comes out for the save against the entire Jericho Appreciation Society. They all go running away from him. He did a nice little bunny hop on one foot, on the bad foot, by the way, if you were wondering, to show us all that his foot looks to be good to go. So let's fucking go, man.
Let's fucking go.
So, I don't need to tell everyone, much like Big T, Big T is reacting the way I reacted.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Big T and I, like, we're 100% on the same page here. This is such a magical moment. Like, I knew we had some time left after the match, and I knew we were going to get something special. And we did. We got something really special. CM Punk returning. Like I said, my camera, I got to fix the auto adjust, but I told myself I wasn't going to wear this shirt until he came back.
Nice.
And he came back, and it was everything, man. It just... we were talking about in the Discord, which you should join the Discord if you're not in the Discord. We have a lot of cool conversations about wrestling. But like we were just talking about it yesterday about CM Punk, and he's the best in the world. He's my favorite of all time, and him returning, him being ready to go. We were talking about it the C2E2 show. He wasn't in the boot, and I remember texting everyone in the Discord, sending the picture, and I'm like, he's working us. Like, this whole story about him at Comic-Con, like, not being in good shape, like, we are being worked. Like, I was letting everyone know we were being worked. And yeah, so he came back tonight. He had a stare down with Mox, and, you have to assume the main event of All Out is going to be Mox versus Punk for the unification of the World Championship. And I'm just happy. I'm really happy. It's what I, he's my guy. It's my guy right there, I'll die on that hill for him. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not,
huge moment.
Yeah, that was a huge moment. Really like to see that little spot, like he said, where he hopped on the one foot to show us that his foot's good to go. He did get a little physical. I think he punched Jericho or somebody. Can't remember who he punched, but he punched somebody.
Number one best wrestling song of all time. 10 out of 10 song.
Was this in Minnesota? Are you saying this was CM Punk's Minnesota return?
Punk brought in the Shield for protection as WWE champ. Now the student and teacher are champ. Yeah, man, this is going to be a really cool story.
That's a good point.
It's going to be there's always a story to tell there between Mox and Punk. And we're going to get some really... Can you imagine the promos we're about to get for Punk and Mox? Whew.
That stare down, man. Holy shit, that face off between those two, that looked so awesome. They're like the exact same height, so it was just perfect. Like, oh, so good.
Yeah. CM Punk's other bodyguards, what happened to them?
Well, Jacko Robertson, welcome, man. How you doing tonight?
They're not doing much of worth right now, I'll tell you that much. In my mind, anyway. That's a hot take, but oh well. But yeah, man, this was an excellent ending to Dynamite. We were getting, Tony Khan didn't lie. He said, you're going to regret if you miss this one, and I would have been very upset with myself if I had missed this ending of this episode of Dynamite.
You would have not been happy.
No, I wouldn't have been. But I am extremely happy. I did catch the ending of Dynamite, and CM Punk is back. And yeah, I'm like, let's fucking go.
Lex Luger, you were talking about the Straight Edge Society, which would be the shaved head girl would be Serena Deeb, who is actually in AEW. And the other dude is the guy from what are their names?
Luke Gallows.
Luke Gallows, yes, Luke Gallows.
Yeah.
So that's the other guy. He's over in Impact, I believe, but I think his contract is up. Not sure what's going on with him.
Yeah. But so yeah, this is I loved it. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I threw my phone against the room. I got up. I was fucking jumping around. Again, I said I was going to wear this shirt when he came back. I was not wearing this shirt. I ran upstairs knowing that we were going live in minutes. And I was like, I'm a man of my word. I'm gonna go fucking put this goddamn shirt on finally that I bought months ago. And yeah, it's fucking awesome. I'm very excited. And Bryan Danielson's back. We're getting, we're most likely getting Kenny Omega next week. So we are getting very close at that point to full staff. I mean,
There it is. The Good Brothers. That's what I was looking for, Coach. Thank you.
oh, the Good Brothers. Yes.
See, Coach knows it all, man. He studies that film, just
Yep.
how it is.
And yet, for some reason, he must not have watched the film about Hangman versus Bryan Danielson. He didn't watch that film. His week.
Speaking of the coach and the film room, let's head on over there for a moment real quick.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
Got a quick announcement here tonight that the coach has actually been promoted within the company of the Broken Tables podcast. He is now the head coach of talent relations for the Broken Tables. I'd like to congratulate Coach Nick. He is still a full-fledged member of the King's Court, but he has been promoted to the head coach of talent relations at Broken Tables podcast. Congratulations to the coach.
Coach is doing that work, man.
Yes, sir.
This guy, Coach threw that film out. Coach, that's wild, man. That is wild to me that you watch that match and it does nothing for you. That's crazy, but I mean, it's all right, man. It's fine. We're all allowed to have different opinions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love this film room here. Put a lot of work into this film room for you here, Coach, and everybody. We spent a lot of money on the new arena going on here, so hope everybody enjoys it.
Yeah, man. Happy for the coach.
All
Coach is the
right.
man.
So that is it for this episode of AEW Dynamite tonight. This was a great episode. Love to see CM Punk back. We finally got one of our, one of our big guys who's been injured back. Great night tonight. I know you were absolutely happy for this. So, I'm super excited to see where we go from here. That face off with Moxley got me super excited. So can't wait to see where we go from here. Rampage looks good. Speaking of which, you got the card lined up for what we got this Friday?
I do. So this Friday on Rampage, Bryan Danielson will return and he will be speaking live. We will also hear from Hook, apparently. I don't know how much we're going to hear, but we're going to hear from Hook. The Gun Club is going to face Beardhausen, which is Danhausen and Eric Redbeard.
Beardhausen.
Yep. Parker Boudreaux will face Sonny Kiss, which if you watched Dark yesterday night, it looks like Sonny Kiss might join the Trustbusters.
Yeah, which Parker Boudreaux is part of. So I have a feeling this match isn't actually going to happen.
I think maybe it happens. I don't know. Maybe Sonny even wins, and they're like, yeah, come on. I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe. I'm guessing if the match happens, I think Sonny gets squashed, and then Ari's like, join me and I'll help you or something, because the Dark thing, it really did look like Sonny wanted to join them. Like, Ari was talking to him, and Sonny was doing this, like, batting the old eyelashes type thing.
Wait a second. Hold on. Everyone stop. What did Juan just say about Nick? Coach Nick? Wait a second.
I have no idea. I couldn't make anything happen.
Nick is about to... I don't even want to read the comment. No, that's awful. Oh, no. Big T just said, Juan, you just called the coach a hoe. Yeah, let's just say that and leave it at that. Jeez. Oh, my God. Man, Juan is out for blood. See, I feel like Juan's just upset because I give WWE a hard time still, which I'm going to continue to do. I'm going to say how I feel.
Yeah.
I think, like, low-key Juan's like, all right, fine. Well, I like the Fed, so I'm gonna troll on the King's Castle and the King's Court. He's trying to break into the King's Castle and mess with everyone, and security is gonna throw him out.
Juan likes to stir the pot. It seems, But I agree with Big T. Everyone was on their A game tonight. Absolutely. Lex, is it just me, or doesn't Billy Gunn and his sons trying to wear Shawn Michaels' old pants? They definitely are using Shawn Michaels' gear as an inspiration. It's definitely a thing for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Also on Rampage, we have a lot of promos, which that always makes me happy. We'll hear from Swerve and Our Glory on Friday night.
Nice.
And then we also have Orange Cassidy versus Ari Daivari. And because I don't know how the fuck they're doing this in 1 hour. They're also going to have Sammy Guevara and Ty Mello. That's her new name. It's not Ty Conti anymore. Ty Mello. Defending their AAA World Mixed Tag Team Championships against Dante Martin and Sky Blue.
So we're getting the Mixed Tag Championships defended on Rampage?
Correct.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Which I actually learned this recently because we were talking about Sky Blue working with Dante Martin. Apparently, they're actually dating in real life.
Yes. Have a good night, man. Yeah, I just found that out as well. I thought she was with somebody else, but yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Maduga. Oh my god. Anyways, Dynamite for next week is a special themed House of the Dragon episode presented by HBO Max and Game of Thrones. Now, Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that AEW was going out of business because the network just didn't like AEW.
Well, no, it seems like everybody's panicking because, Warner was canceling all kinds of shows and all kinds of movies and certain stuff, but it just seems like they were getting rid of the stuff that sucked, not the things that they actually enjoy and promote. So if this is not evidence to you that they are absolutely happy with AEW, that they're making a match and a big time advertisement on the show for their new Game of Thrones television show, like, this is a big deal. And anyone who thinks that AEW is in danger at all is out of their minds. They did the what did you call it? The conference call the other day where they showed AEW twice on the PowerPoint they had going on. Like, come on, use your brains, guys.
Financial presentation showing what how they want the future to shape out for them as a singular company. And they showed AEW twice in their slides. I mean, like, come on, you gotta look at it and realize that AEW, the network values them. They're number one on cable every night. Are they beating WWE in the ratings? No, they're not. But they're number one in cable on their nights. They're doing well in the demos. I mean, they're not breaking the million at this point anymore. But they're still number one on cable. So you got to go off of that metric. It's just that's what it is. I mean, WWE is going to beat AEW in the ratings for a long time, and that's just the reality of it. They've been around for 50 years. People have spent their entire lives watching that product. It's part of their life. You just live, and you're just Monday night, you watch Raw. It's like the Super Bowl. You watch the Super Bowl every year. It's just what you do. It just becomes a routine. It's in your life. It's like waking up and eating breakfast. Maybe you're busy, you don't get to eat breakfast every day, but you know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? It's just part of people's lives.
Yeah, Big T, Ty's it's not her new name. They're just using her full first name. We've always known it, but they're using her whole name now, which is Ty Mello. It's TAYMELO, one word. Ty Mello. Kind of like LaMelo, but Ty Mello.
Anyways, so next week on Dynamite on the House of Dragons episode, Andrade El Idolo, Roosh, and Dragon Lee will face the Young Bucks and their mystery partner, most likely Kenny Omega.
Dude, that's got me wondering so hard, but I don't know if it's gonna be Kenny. Is it?
I'm okay either way. If it's Hangman, I'm still happy. I'm cool either way. Coach is gonna be like, no, I don't know about this Hangman guy. I don't know if I like him that much.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know where it's going, but
yeah, we also have Toni Storm versus Kylan King. Great to see Kylan King coming back. I'm very excited for that.
Me too. She is one of my absolute favorite female wrestlers that is not featured on AEW a lot recently. She used to be back when one Cody Rhodes was around, because I do believe she's part of his school of wrestling there. But great to see her going straight back to Dynamite rather than throwing her on Dark and stuff like that. So if you guys haven't seen Kylan King, you're gonna love her. She's 6 foot something, and she's awesome.
And finally, Jeff, strap the fuck in. We have a 2 out of 3 falls match next week. Bryan Danielson versus Daniel Garcia.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's gonna be brutal as fuck.
Yeah. 2 out of 3 falls. And then they also said that more Dynamite matches will be announced on Rampage.
Nice.
So yeah, that was Dynamite. Very excited for Rampage this week. It's a very packed Rampage. I can't believe that they're doing as much as they are doing. And then yeah, next week Dynamite's going to be really, really good. I'm very excited.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ryan Davis, I have noticed it tremendously that they have been advertising more and more and more. And every time I see another advertisement, I just smile and I know that that streaming deal is coming. And I can't wait to just be like, shut up and take my money. I can't wait.
I saw something on Reddit, and outside of the US, you can subscribe to Fight TV and like subscribe to AEW on Fight TV for a fee, and basically you get Dynamite, Rampage, you get all the shows on Fight TV. Apparently, they're informing their customers in those countries that offer this service that they're changing it to have it be so every Dynamite and Rampage will debut on the service 14 days after the date of the show. So instead of it being like a day and date release, it's going to be pushed back by 2 weeks. And many are speculating why would they do this unless they had a change coming to their streaming rights.
Absolutely. Juan hit the nail on the head. Can't wait for those pay-per-view costs to decrease. Yeah, if pay-per-views come with the streaming, oh, gimme.
Yeah, if HBO Max has the pay-per-views, HBO Max is already an awesome service. I cut it off along with the other streaming services just to save some money. I have Disney Plus and YouTube Premium and that's it. But I will definitely be getting HBO Max back if AEW programming is on HBO Max. Peacock is awful. Isn't even like it doesn't even matter that WWE is on there or not. Like if WWE wasn't on there, I would still sit here and say that Peacock is dog shit. And I have that included with my Comcast, so I can tell you I've used it. It's awful. It's just the worst app. It is just the worst streaming app.
It's like a really bad version of Netflix.
Yeah, it's really bad. So that's everything I have to talk about. Do you want to play some video game 20 questions?
I do. I think it's time.
All right. Well, for everyone still here, thank you for listening to us talk about AEW Dynamite tonight. Leave a like and subscribe, please. We would really appreciate it. We are about to transfer to kind of our last segment of the night, which is video game 20 questions. I pick games off the wall, and Jeff has to guess what it is. So
all right,
if you give
let's
me
do
1
it.
second, I am going to turn off my camera, and I'm going to pick a game.
All right, so for those of you who do not know, to end each of our podcasts now, we have Rome choose a video game from his library, and I do mean library of video games. It can be from just about any console, and we play a game of 20 questions where I get to ask him 20 yes or no questions about the said game, and I have to try to figure out what game it is, and you guys in chat get to help me the entire time. So you guys can throw out some questions you think that I should ask. If I think they are good questions that will help me figure out what game this is, I will use your questions. And you know, I am 0-4 at the moment. I've gotten very close. You know, with a couple of my questions, I actually thought I knew the game, but then I talked myself out of it with a question that I asked incorrectly. That's happened to me twice now. So let's see if I can nail this one tonight.
To be fair, Big T is actually 2-2. Big T got 2 guesses correct in the past. So if you're gonna listen to somebody, make sure you listen to Big T because he's doing well.
All right. Yes, Big T did get 2 correct, man. All right.
Anyways, Jeff,
I am
you may
ready
start
to
whenever you're
go.
ready.
So we will start with my traditional first question of, is this a first-person shooter game?
No.
All right, not a first-person shooter. Is this an RPG?
No.
Okay. Is this a brawler style game?
No.
Okay. That's 3 right off the bat. Okay. Is this a standalone game? Meaning, are there sequels or not?
It is not a standalone game, no.
Okay. All right. Does my question of asking, is it a brawling game, the same as a fighting game? Like brawling, I meant Smash Brothers, but does that include fighting like Mortal Kombat?
Wait, are you asking? So are you asking if I considered brawling a fighting game?
Yeah.
Yes. I thought you
Okay.
were talking about a fighting game.
Okay. All right, let's see here. So we got quite a few eliminated from there. All right. Are there any weapons used in this game?
Yeah, technically, yes.
Okay. Damn. All right. That didn't help me at all. Come on, Chad, help me out with some questions. Oh, okay, yeah, let's go with that. Is this a sports game?
You gotta ask every time. No, it's not a sports game.
Not a sports game. All right.
Coach is out.
Coach actually didn't ask that. Juan did. I haven't seen Coach for a minute. He might be
He's probably watching Dynamite with the wife.
Yeah. All right, let's see here. Is this a wrestling game?
No.
No. Okay. Man. What kind of game you guys think this could be? It's not fighting, it's not first-person shooter, it's not RPG. Let's see here. Yeah, so would you consider this a hidden gem?
No. I mean, I think people know that this exists, generally speaking. I mean, is it like super successful? That's a different question that you can ask if you want, but I mean, I wouldn't say hidden, but not personally.
Okay. All right.
That's a really weird question, though. I would try to be careful with that question. Because
Yeah,
that's
like
very...
the hidden gem thing, I mean, would be like, is it a great game that not a lot of people know about, you know?
Yeah, my only thing about that is it is a yes or no question, but that's kind of up to interpretation. That was like when we
True.
did Alan Wake, and everyone was like, "Is this a well-known character?" That was kind of hard to answer. You know what I mean?
True. And I had never heard of that, so okay.
Yeah, I would again. I'll answer the question if you want to ask the question. I'll give the answer to the best of my opinion. But again, it's
No, you're good.
that's an opinion, you know.
So, all right. Is this game made by Nintendo?
It is.
All right. I have sort of a path to go down here now. Okay. Does this game take place in the Legend of Zelda world?
No.
Okay. How many questions are we at?
That was your 10th question, sir.
All right, that was half of the questions.
But you've made some progress.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Being a Nintendo game, all right, yeah, let's go with that one. So, is this a side-scrolling type game?
No.
Okay. Come on, Big T. I need some more help, man. Where's Juan at? Is this set in the Mario Brothers world?
It is.
Okay. So we got a huge step forward here. All right. Come on, T.
Big T never disappoints.
All right, so would this game be on the Nintendo 64 or a prior console? Meaning like, you know, Nintendo 64 or older.
No.
Okay, so we are after Nintendo 64. All right.
Correct.
Okay. What did we have? Mario wise after 64. Got all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oh, in the middle of making quesadillas, I'm so jealous. That sounds so good right now.
Yeah, he's busy, man. Big T's a busy man.
It's completely 100% understandable. All right. Yeah, there's a good one. Does the game focus on... We'll just go with Luigi.
It does.
All right. So, how many of these were made? I think there's 2. How do we how do we figure out which one we're going to go for?
Damn you, Big T.
Okay. Is this the first in the series of the video games?
No, it is not.
All right. Just to be sure, is this the second of the series in the video game?
No, it is not.
All right, so I think there may have been more than 2. Now I need some help because I am completely oblivious to if there's a third one or not. Takis inside the melted cheese. Oh, any meat in there? Oh, Wario World. Has to be second Luigi Mansion. No, the third one. Is there a third one?
Is there?
Can anyone confirm? Is there a third Luigi's Mansion? How many questions do I have left?
You have 3 more.
All right, let's use one. Is it the third of the installment in the game series?
It is.
Okay.
Just so you know, Jeff, you have to get, if you make a guess, you have to name the actual title of the game. Just so
I
you
know, and I'm assuming that there is a name to this game that I am unaware of. Who knows the actual name of Luigi's Mansion 3?
I wish I had the power to just disable chat. Just like, no, on.
What's its actual name, though? I'm not allowed to use Google. You guys are my Google.
Well, I mean, they can't use Google to tell you the answer. That's not
True.
okay.
So, all right. So I still got 2 questions left. So,
Yep.
Is the game called? Oh, no, I don't want to say that.
Well, that's just a guess. Then you're just making a guess.
Yeah. All right. Is there more to this game's name than Luigi's Mansion 3?
That's a great question. No, there's not.
All right, then Luigi's Mansion 3, final answer.
It is Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yes, finally got one. I'm 1 in 4.
Big T is once again. Big T said Luigi's Mansion.
Big T definitely ruined it again.
While the man's making quesadillas, mind you.
Yeah, in the middle of making quesadillas. That's impressive, Big T.
All right.
I will definitely concede that Big T is more of a gamer than I am.
All right. Time to really kill you here with the last one. Assuming we're only doing one more.
Yeah, we'll do one more.
All right. This one.
It's midnight, for God's sakes.
Yeah. It's fun.
This is great. I love it. One of my favorite parts of the night.
Oh yeah, it's a blast. I absolutely love doing this, and I have so many games we could literally play this for like years, probably. All right, the game has been selected.
Yes, I know I pronounced quesadilla wrong.
No, I did. I said quesadilla.
Yeah, I've been doing it since I was a kid. I'm from Las Vegas, and it drives people crazy out there, so I've just done it on purpose.
Oh, I just do it to be funny. Like if someone like had champagne, I'd be like, "Oh, pass me some of that champagne."
Yeah, it's usually I say quesodilla, and that gets people.
Anyways, all right, sir. Well, you have 20 questions. I'm clearing my board right now because I actually started keeping track of what you ask to kind of better help you and help me.
Okay.
So as I clear the board, you may ask your first question.
All right. Let's, traditional question number 1. Is this a first-person shooter?
No.
I feel like he's never going to choose one again.
Don't say that. That's
I
not
know.
true. I have FPSs.
All right. Is this an RPG? I got the hiccups now.
No, it's not.
Okay. Is this a brawling or fighting style game?
No.
All right. First 3 questions down the drain. Yeah, fighting game. I already got it, Lex. Let's see here. Trying to like change my direction of questioning, but maybe I should not. Let's see. Is this an open world type game?
No.
Okay. I want to ask do you use weapons question again, but I feel like that's just so vague. Like anything
That's
could
very
be a
vague.
weapon in a game. Like,
Yeah, that's extremely vague.
yeah, like even in like a Banjo-Kazooie, like picking up another character and throwing him could be considered a weapon. So like even
Yeah, that was the thing. You asked, is there a weapon in Luigi's Mansion? I'm like, well, he uses a vacuum.
yeah. So that's still
I said yes, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I would assume the fireballs are a weapon and all that too, so it makes sense. Huh. Yeah, let's go for another one of those. Is this a Nintendo game?
As in, like, made by Nintendo?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. All right. Is this a futuristic setting game?
Yes.
Okay. Sly Cooper for the PS2. It is much too early for for guesses.
I like how Big T's just busting out the guesses. Like he's ballsy now. He's like, oh, I've already gotten this fucker 3 times.
All right. Is this a post-apocalyptic style game?
No.
Okay. Trying to think here. Help me out with some more questions, guys. So, let me rephrase the weapons question. So, for weapons, do we use guns in this game?
No.
No, okay. So it's not any sort of a shooter. Well, it might be, but it's not made by Nintendo. Was this game platform specific when it came out?
When it came out, let me Google it. I want to say no, but let me Google it.
Okay.
Oh wait, I want to say yes, but hold on, let me see.
Not sure that question is going to help tremendously, but
let's see.
That last one, I could have looked behind you and saw the empty space in the old switch row there, but I don't see any more empty spaces.
No. Let's see. Let's say yes, it was exclusive to something when it launched.
Okay. All right, so do you follow a main character throughout this game?
Not really.
No?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I think this one's actually pretty hard.
Yeah, I have nowhere to go for this yet.
Yeah, you got me once. I don't want to let it happen again. Let alone twice in one night.
Oh, I see. All right. So, No guns. Is this a... Would you consider this to be a horror genre game, like scary or dark genre?
The game, in terms of its presentation, no. I'm gonna say no for that, based off the presentation of the game.
Okay. Would you consider this to be part of a next-gen console, which would include like PS4 and above and Xbox 360 and above?
Are you asking, is it on those consoles?
Yeah, but more in a way of like, is it not on the older consoles? You know what I mean? All right, let's do it. Let's do it this way. Is it on any consoles that are pre PS4?
No.
Okay, so PS4 or above.
That generation, pre that generation.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Okay, how many questions are we at here?
That was your 12th one. You have 8 more.
All right. I feel like I'm doing terrible on this one. Is this game meant to be realistic?
No.
No. Okay. So we got futuristic, non-realistic. Okay.
I think I got you on this one. I don't think
all
you're
right,
getting it.
probably.
I don't think Big T's getting it either. I'm out to beat Big T right now.
I want to
That's
say
who I'm
something
playing
crazy
against.
like Warframe, but that was like a free game on Steam.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes without saying, but obviously I'm only picking games on the wall, so it has to have seen a physical release, obviously.
Gotcha.
Obviously, you know.
Okay, so let's try something crazy here, seeing that it was console specific for a little while at least. Is this a game made by Bungie?
No.
No? Okay.
It's not Destiny. Leave it alone.
Oh, wow. Do you even own
You
Destiny?
tried that last week. You were like, oh, I think it might be Destiny.
That is definitely what was in my head. It's my favorite. It's like my favorite game ever besides Ocarina of Time. I already asked it, is it futuristic, Lex, and it's not realistic, so I wouldn't say it has to relate to today's society.
Yes, Juan, I do have WWE games on the shelf.
Did you say there are? Or no?
Yeah, there are. Juan asked if I have
Nice.
WWE games. I do have WWE games.
Okay, man, this is a toughie here.
Yes, sir.
Are there aliens in this game?
There are.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oof, that's a toughie now. We got aliens and... Are we one of the aliens in said video game?
Not exclusively, but you can be. I mean...
Okay. It's not a shooter, or it's not a first-person shooter. Aren't all Halos first-person shooters? Yeah.
Not all.
Ooh. Okay. I want to say like Alien versus Predator, but I doubt. I just feel like you wouldn't. You wouldn't own that. Let's see here. Man, I am stumped.
Good. That's what I was going for.
Wow, I'm like completely stumped right now. I don't even know what question to ask. Okay, so we can be the alien. So obviously we can switch characters, right? Or we can choose from different characters. One of them or more happen to be aliens. It's not a shooter, or it's not a first-person shooter. How many questions are we at?
You have 4 left.
Ugh. I'm pretty sure I asked if it's not a fighter or a brawler, right?
Correct.
Okay.
It's not.
Man, you must have picked a good one here.
I think I did.
Is this game in the Pokemon world?
No.
That would have been too easy, I think. Saints Row 4? Is that in the future? I think that's realistic. All those Saints Row things are realistic. Not realistic. Aliens changing characters. Oh, jeez. I know so little right now that I don't think 3 more questions are gonna help me here. Like I want to ask if it's multiplayer, but will that even help? No. Man, this was a tough one.
That's a really weird question.
Juan's busy eating his quesadillas. Can't help out with this one.
Big T's eating his quesadillas.
Oh yeah, Big T, I'm sorry. Ooh, StarCraft. Did that have a physical release though? If it did, it was on PC. I think we kind of asked that one, Lex, and we were like, you know, that's subjective to somebody's knowledge of the game.
Oh, well, this one I could very clearly answer that question for.
Okay, is this a hidden gem?
Are you asking it?
Yeah.
No, it's not a hidden gem.
Okay. So when you answer that way, you're saying that like this is a well-known game?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
You have 2 questions. And then a guess.
Oh wait, it's not a fighting game. Damn it. I was about to be like, it's Tekken.
Are there aliens in Tekken?
Yeah, I think Yoshimitsu is supposed to be an alien if I'm not completely mistaken, but I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Might even be a robot for all I know. I don't know.
Interesting.
Oh, damn, man. Damn.
But yeah, 2 questions and then a guess.
So 2 questions. Let's see. So is this a cartoonish style game?
Yes.
Okay, so 1 question left. It's cartoony. It's got aliens. Not first-person shooter. It's not an RPG. It is a well-known. I feel like I gotta start learning how to figure out what type of game it is with my questions. I gotta figure out the genre before anything. Man, this is so tough. I don't think we ever asked if it was first or 1 person or not. Oh, first persons. Rabbids? Ooh. That is RPG style, I guess. Holy Stromboli. All right, I got 1 question left, right?
Yep.
I never asked if it was part of a sequel. We screwed ourselves there. I think that's a good question for in the future. What the hell is Phoenix Point, Juan? I've never even heard of that. That would be a hidden gem because I've never heard of that one. Damn, man. Damn. Like, have I even gotten close? Like, do you feel like my line of questioning has even gone near it?
There was a question that you had contemplated earlier that I thought would have been a pretty good question to ask, but I'm not going to tell you what it was.
Okay.
But
man, this is so tough. Let's see.
I need a question, Jeff.
I know. Okay, is this a top-down style game? Are we looking from top down?
No, I don't think so. I mean, actually, kind of.
Kind
The
of.
perspective's a little weird. Let's
Okay.
say yes. Let's say yes. It's a top down. Let's say that. Yeah.
All right. Well, I
Yeah.
have to
Yeah. It's
make
top.
some sort of a guess.
Yep. Time for your guess.
The only thing that comes to mind with all these things we've gone with is Splatoon.
Is that your final guess, sir?
That is my final guess.
Well, you're unfortunately incorrect. You asked if it was a Nintendo game, in which case I said no. This game is an extremely popular game, very well known. If you had asked, is this a multiplayer game, it might have got you on the right track. The game that I picked, and you probably don't even know that this got a physical release, is Among Us.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So,
Wow,
there you
that
go.
never crossed my mind.
Yep.
And
It's
yes,
a multiplayer.
you answered all the questions right. That is somewhat of a top-down. Aliens, absolutely.
Yep, because the imposter is an alien.
Yeah, cartoonish,
You can
futuristic.
play
Yep.
as an alien. Yeah,
Yep.
it was exclusive to PC at launch.
Yeah.
It's like you asked if it was a horror game, and I said no, but like just because of presentation, I like the concept of the game is kind of horror.
No,
But
yeah,
I
I don't.
like,
Yeah, it's definitely comical. So yeah, I wouldn't.
yeah, it's too comical to say yes for the horror. Um, it was not on pre PS4 gen. Not realistic. It was not made by Bungie. Aliens are in it. You play as the alien. When you're the imposter. It's not Pokemon. It is not a hidden gem. It is cartoonish. It is top down.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Why you so sus? That was a very good one, man. Good job. I am now 1-5. All right, man. That was another awesome edition of the 20 questions. Why don't you go ahead and close us out, my dude?
Absolutely. This has been episode 63 of the Broken Tables podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider giving us a like and subscribe, or a follow depending on where you find us. Thank you to everyone in chat that hung out with us to discuss Dynamite, preview next week, and play some video game 20 questions. Always have a blast with that. Thank you to everyone who's not listening to us live. Thank you to the coach who is currently in the past. He will be caught up eventually. But if you're listening to us post live, thank you for checking us out on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, and Anchor. You can follow us on Twitter at Broken Table Show, or on Facebook and Instagram at the Broken Tables Podcast. You can check out my Twitter in the description below. Please do. We go live on YouTube following every single AEW Dynamite, Rampage, and even pay-per-views. We are getting very close to All Out. The card is going to start taking shape over the next few weeks. As of right now, we have the inaugural Broken Predictions Tag Team Championship will be decided at All Out. Oh shit, the coach is here. He's back. He passed out. He's here. Coach is here. I'm not defending my world championship. There's no competitors really worthy of facing me, so that's not happening. But the tag team championships will be on the line at All Out. The King's Court will be bringing that gold home. We hope to see everybody Friday night post Rampage. Until then, hope everyone has a great Thursday, and see you then.
Right on. Thank you guys for joining us tonight, as always. And if you have not already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notifications for when we go live and put out some videos. I promise we will not bombard you with a bunch of useless garbage on there. All of our stuff is, top-notch content. So thank you guys very much for joining us tonight, and Top Guys out.